Hello. Hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're swell. Hope you're wavy. Hope you hope you're great. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're doing nice. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing amazing. Last night I played Marvel Rifles. You know what? It's fun with Rocket. I'm having fun with Rocket. Rocket, raccoon, rat, hybrid, whatever he is. I think he's a raccoon, right? He's a raccoon. Man, teamwork is important. One thing I've noticed is some people just rush ahead and do whatever. No strategy. I be trying to heal people, but people be like just running all over the place. And it's like, I can't help you. Because people are attacking me. And I have to defend myself, and you're out here running. You should be defending me because I'm the one healing you. So the idea should be that at least one of y'all should stay with me. And for example, when the idea is you have to capture a particular area, you have to stay put in that area. You can't just move around. So if I'm the only one staying put, like I'm gonna get killed and then they're gonna capture the area. So you have to have someone that stays behind, but they all just rush ahead and then get slaughtered, and then I'm next on the chopping block. It's so silly. So teamwork makes the dream work. Though the teams that I've noticed usually do the best are the ones that are more coordinated. You can see that they actually have a strategy. They're working together. You have some that rush ahead, some that stay behind. They do things a lot quicker too. They execute a lot faster. They're just more coordinated. So I like being the healer. I like being the guy with the healing abilities. It's nice to see everyone's health going up while they're fighting. And the opposing team is just getting wrecked. Because it's nice, like when you like find someone getting their ass beat, and you just come in and start healing them, and then they get the upper hand because they were losing at first, but then you came in and started boosting their health, and then they end up winning that fight. That's always cool to see. So I like doing that. I like healing people and then also then providing gunfire from the back to also aid the push forward. So yeah, Rocket's cool, man. I like using Rocket. I should try out the other healer types as well, but I like Rocket. I'm pretty happy with it. So. And then I was watching a bunch of demo. One thing I like doing is just popping popcorn and putting that butter salt I got yesterday or the day before yesterday and just watching some. I might have to re-up on my popcorn kernels. I got raw popcorn kernels, GMO free. But they're about to finish. So I might have to walk to the store to get new ones, a new packet. You might get 2 packets, so I don't have to keep going back to the store. But I like watching Demon Slayer while I'm eating popcorn. It's so fun. Demon Slayer is pretty good. A criticism I made, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. Well, I was just like the internal monologues in anime in general. It's not just TV, but anime in general has this thing with internal monologues. It's very silly. Because it messes up the pacing. It's unnecessary. In writing, there's a rule: show, don't tell. It's better to show the audience what you're trying to convey as opposed to telling them. Obviously, you can't avoid telling entirely. You have to tell them some things. And there are episodes where the internal monologue thing works. He's narrating his own story and it makes sense. But there's other moments where you're just like, okay, this is too much. Like, it's not necessary here in particular. Especially like during fight scenes when he's describing to you like, bro, I can like get, I can see what's happening. You don't have to tell me. Like things like I'm tired and he's just getting the upper hand on me and I don't know how I'm gonna win this fight, yada yada yada. It's like you don't have to say all that, bro. That doesn't have to be written into the story. Like you can show certain things through facial reactions, like just certain gestures. You can show his body moving in a way that suggests that it's tired, so on and so forth. Like there's subtle ways you can hint at certain things. If you want to show that he's shocked, he doesn't have to say that he's shocked. He can just make a face. And just also let people's imagination do the work as well. You don't have to tell us everything. You don't have to spell it out. Let us come to certain conclusions. A little mystery doesn't hurt here and there. I think that's a problem a lot of writers have sometimes. They want to be in control of every aspect of how the audience perceives the story. It's like it's okay to let them come to their conclusions. Because when you get too detailed, you also sacrifice. There is a sacrifice you make there, because when something becomes too detailed, the audience becomes so fixated on these details that it can end up actually being distracting, because it's like you start to notice the writer's hand. You start to notice that, okay, like that's a bit too contrived here. That okay, that was clearly done to give this certain character plot armor here and there and whatnot. Like okay, that's kind of like veering off into a different element of writing. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that you want to leave some things to imagination, because with like Jujutsu Kaisen is an example of this. I feel like they focus so much on explaining the powers. I find myself thinking too deeply about the mechanics of the power instead of focusing on the action. Then I'm like, wait, like this is actually kind of distracting. Like I don't need to know every little detail about how the character's doing what they're doing. A little mystery is fine. I don't have to know. Some things are cool because they're mysterious. If you start explaining them too much, they stop being cool. But we call it intellectual masturbation because the writers just want to let you know how smart they are. And look at this cool thing, this cool magic system we developed. Oh my god, we're so smart. It's like, okay, but it's not necessary. You don't need to explain that. I do think some things benefit from explanations, but some things don't. Like some things it's okay to just leave it vague. So Jujutsu Kaisen, I've definitely noticed they do it a lot. And you're just like, what? You get lost sometimes. You're just like, wait, what? You have to rewind, you have to pause, you have to... Yeah, sometimes you have to let someone else explain it via YouTube. It's too much, man. But a lot of anime struggle with this. You know, anime is when they're really interesting to watch like together. I think like the old anime like Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, they struggled with filler and bad pacing, like that sort of nonsense, right? That was their thing, like on top of the other stuff, like internal monologues and all that sort of stuff. And then the next generation kind of improved on that. So you see with Jujutsu Kaisen and shows like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, so on and so forth, Solo Leveling, they've gotten so much better at pacing. Not as much nonsense that's weighing it down. Not as much filler, but they still have like across the genre, across the medium of anime, you still see recurring themes like problems that seems to play the whole industry. I don't know why that happens, by the way. Like, how is it everyone that has the same issues? Like, what causes that? Why doesn't like someone just stick their head out and say, wait, why are we doing this? I'm not doing this. Why is it such an industry-wide thing all the time? I don't know. Is it the same companies that manage all the studios or something like that, and they enforce the same standards? I don't know. It's just an odd thing to see. But regardless, for example, who said that? Who is the person that said that all these animes should be about children? Because we know that at this point, like, anime is not just for kids. I think everyone knows that adults watch anime, so why don't we have more people making anime that focuses on adult life? Those are actually pretty rare. The vast majority I've seen, especially if you're going on Crunchyroll now, it's just stories about teenagers. It's like, wow. I don't know. Because I know there's a lot of adults that watch anime, including myself and others, and it's great. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, the older generation, they had the big issues of pacing, and then filler episodes are just terrible and don't contribute to the story in any meaningful way. I mean, they're filler, right? But if you're going to do filler, make it nice. It's like a lot of filler in a lot of these shows like Naruto, One Piece, Dragon, they're just terrible. But the new generation has gotten rid of those issues, but they still have the issues of these just weird monologues that just, they also mess with pacing. So, pacing hasn't been completely fixed. So I guess we'll wait for the next generation to get rid of that as well, so that we have tighter writing, just more bingeable shows, because sometimes it just breaks immersion. It makes it hard to just binge. Still great shows. I'm not saying they're not good shows. They're great shows. Amazing shows, all of them. But these are little things that bother me. But anyway, what I was thinking about last night? Because I actually saw someone posted something on X, and they were talking about writers, like creators in general, saying, well, this person was more so talking about the comic book industry, but you're saying a writer's success is directly proportional to how much they criticize their peers, which is, I believe, true in a certain sense, which is that if you're just hating on other people's work for the sake of hating and all that sort of stuff, that can, it can alienate potential customers, because if you end up going as far as to insult other people's taste and all these other things, the people are like, I don't want to support this guy and all that sort of stuff, and you don't want to make unnecessary enemies. Is basically the gist of it, right? It's not productive. So for me, I try to be like, look, when I'm talking about, like, for example, like how much I despise the ending of Attack on Titan, I'm not trying to ruffle anyone's feathers. That was a genuine reaction I had when I was watching Attack on Titan. I'm a fan, man. I started out as a fan of a lot of these things before I've wanted to write since I was 6 years old. So, but really, I'm a fan of a lot of these mediums. So I have opinions. I have opinions on a lot of the shows I watch, and I'm just honest about my opinions. So if I do find myself criticizing someone else's work, I try to be fair. For example, the Attack on Titan, as much as I don't like the ending. I've been on record saying that there are many elements of the show that I think are good, especially after I started rewatching certain scenes. Like I went on YouTube to rewatch certain scenes, and I was like, okay, yeah. There was definitely moments, many moments in this show that I was like, whoa, that was really well executed. That was really well done. So it's not like it's a bad show or the people who worked on it aren't talented. That's not the case. I just think the ending was ridiculous, and I've made my case to why that is, and I've spoken about it at length. I've posted community posts about it. I've made videos about it, and there are many other people who agree. I think it's divided. I think there are people who like the ending, people who don't. I don't have to get into that. That's a whole rabbit hole, but I think there's a lot it gets. There's a lot the show does right. And I said yesterday, I don't binge a lot of shows. I like to take things slow. And, I also I don't have the energy to binge. Like some people watch like 10, 20 episodes in one sitting or something. I don't know how many to do that. For me, it's 2, 3 episodes and then I'm done. But Attack on Titan, I think I was like one after the other. Because I have to see what happens next. I have to see what happens next. One more, one more. And then it just several hours have passed by. I'm still here. So it was a good show. It was well written. Many parts of it are well written. I hated the time travel stuff. I thought that was crazy that they included time travel, and it just started to give off fantasy vibes. It started, talking about the Malians and the Eldians, or what are they called? They're just talking about ancient kingdoms and all that sort of stuff. And like they took a scientific angle, sort of trying to use biology to explain, but like ancient biology. But it started to feel like magic. It just really started to feel like magic to me, like the explanation for the Titans. But anyway, I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole because people get really passionate about that. And the purpose of this video isn't to argue about Attack on Titan. If you like the direction they went in, that's good for you. But yeah, I guess the point of what I was saying is that I do have to be careful about how I criticize other people's work, just because the same is definitely going to be done to me. So do to others as you want them to do to you. So I have to be mindful of that, be respectful, all that sort of stuff. Also, just be honest. As a fan, I do have opinions on things. As a gamer, I'll have opinions on video games. As a writer, I'll have opinions on books, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, Demon Slayer has that thing with the monologues and whatnot. I'm not a fan of, but I think overall I'm having fun with Demon Slayer. I think it's great. I'm constantly looking forward to the next episode and whatnot. So I'm still in season 1, and yeah, so far so good. It's nice. So far so good. I wish I could watch One Piece like this, because I'm really trying to catch up with One Piece. But it's like One Piece, man. Oh my god, One Piece is a horrible pacing. It's just not a bingeable show. Like, it has parts. It'll have a segment in the season where things finally pick up and you're moving along. But oh my god, man. Oh, like. What arc did I just finish? Where was I? Where was I with One Piece? Let me check on my. Let me go on my Crunchyroll app. One Piece. Where was I? No, don't play the. No. Where was I? So I'm on season 12, it says here. Whole Cake Island. That's where I was. So I finished Whole Cake Island. Oh yeah, I remember Sanji had drama there and all that sort of stuff. But now I'm on like season 12, Reverie. And then season 13 will be Wano Kuni. But yeah, it's dragging along, man. It's dragging along. Ugh. It's just a chore. It's like, it feels like a homework watching One Piece these days. It's like, but you know, it gets good eventually, but it's like you have to work to get to the parts that get good. It's so ridiculous. You really have to put in effort. But anyway, I am curious to see how things go. I'm also tired of the fan service. It's too much. I'm really tired of the boobies and whatnot. Like, yeah, we get it. These guys are perverts, man. You need to call them out. These guys are perverts. The artists who draw these characters on these, you need to calm down. It is too much. Here and there, like, yeah, okay, you can make the characters, the female characters look sexy, but like, come on, man. It's like, it's just so unnecessary sometimes. Especially in scenes where the characters are supposed to be doing something serious. Like Nami's supposed to be saying something serious or doing something that's meant to look cool. While her titties are bouncing on the screen. You're like, man, what? How am I supposed to focus when this is going on? Robin, Nico Robin, very reserved, like quiet character. Grew up around scientists and stuff. It just doesn't make sense that she's always loosely dressed with her titties out and all this is wearing booty shorts. She just doesn't match her character, her personality at all. She's an archaeologist who likes to keep to herself for the most part. Like, you know, like what all the women, regardless of their personality, regardless of their life, they all dress the same, which is to say, not at all. And it's just ridiculous. So that's another annoying thing about One Piece, honestly. But it has redeeming qualities. There's a reason why it's one of the most popular animes of all time. But I just think they take things too far, man. They have the Dragon Ball has the worst pacing. Dragon Ball Z has the worst pacing. Like it's criminal. It's damn near unwatchable. But One Piece is close, man. Close second. The pacing is just trash. Oh my god, the Alabasta arc when Vivi kept tripping. If you know, you know. That was the most frustrating viewing experience. One of many, man. One Piece gets my blood pressure up. One Piece gets me heated sometimes. There's many things. Usopp as a character just frustrates me. No growth. He's more of a scaredy cat now than before. It's insane. It's like you think he'd mellow out at some point. Because here's the thing. I get that they're trying to provide, making like the comic relief and whatnot, but you want to see some level of growth where he, like foot soldiers shouldn't terrify him anymore. You know, like he should elevate to a point where he doesn't get terrified by regular foot soldiers, like Navy soldiers or something like that. Or any like regular army of any enemy he's facing, because he's part of the one of the most powerful pirate crews in the world. You know, like you want to show that. You'd think at some point you have enough confidence. I understand if you're going up against like super powerful enemies. That's when the comic relief will come in. But when he's going up against like a regular ass Navy soldier, bro, like come on. It just gets so boring when not even boring. The only thing that's boring it's just infuriating, it's frustrating. He's just screaming and crying because some guy's chasing him with a sword. It's like, oh, like you're beyond this. You level up, like you should not be a problem to you anymore. But anyway, this turned into a One Piece rant. I didn't intend for that, which will be pissing me off. Anyway, in terms of writing, my writing, I'm making progress as always, inching along. I did my writing exercise this morning. Like I said yesterday, I set up I set up a training system. Basically, hold on. Just going through my history to find out where this chat is. Oh, there we go. It should categorize them according to which was lost access, because then if I have to keep scrolling through, it'll get crazy. I have to put it in my favorites list, so I don't. Anyway, so basically, I used Grok to set up this training system where every day I show up and we workshop on a random line that I'll give. The idea is that I want to improve my prose writing, so I want to get better at writing prose, which basically just means my style of diction, and how I describe things, so on and so forth. It's just my general writing skill, how the story reads. So how it works is that I feed it a line and it will assess various aspects of that line. So for example, today I was actually wondering, like, should I just use, because I write every day, I'm writing working on it, like, should I just use some line from what I wrote yesterday and then we just work on that? Or I was like, nah, I want to use a new line. So I came up with, like, the line was about a soldier just walking through mud, right? A soldier walking through mud. So here's what I came up with. The soldier trudged through the mud, each step a war against fatigue, his breaths fleeing his lips like refugees. So its job is then to break that down, assess the strengths, assess the weaknesses, and then give me XP points based on that. And there's a point system, and then there's a ranking system. So the more XP I get, eventually I can then level up. So each ranking has a minimum amount of XP I have to acquire. So let me read the rankings for you. Let's see, where? No, it's not here. Rank 1 is Scribbler. That's a 0 to 49 XP. Rank 2 is Word Weaver. That's 50 to 149 XP. Rank 3 is Verse Smith. That's 150 to 299 XP. Rank 4 is Lyricist. That's 300 to 499 XP. And rank 5 is Bard. That's 500 plus XP. 500 plus XP. And then, each line can get, I guess, 0 to 15 XP depending on how good the line is. 5 is like, very basic. It's okay. Yeah. It needs a lot of work, but 5 is like that general level at which you're like, yeah, it's something. 10 XP is like, yeah, it's pretty good, but still considerable room for improvement. And then, like, if you get 15, that's like excellent, really, exemplary. So that's how it assesses it. That's its system that it devised. So for each line that I do, I can get 0 to 15 XP. And I can give it as many lines as I want within a day. So I can decide today I'm XP farming to try and get XP. I think I should make it more... I think I should increase the requirements because I think I'm going to get to 500 XP pretty quickly. So I'll see. I don't think it's going to take me that long, so... Because today already I got quite a few points. But yeah, what is the line? So the soldier trudged through the mud, each step a war against fatigue, his breath fleeing his lips like refugees. So it said here, strengths, trudged sets a heavy visceral tone, perfect for the soldier's struggle. Each step of war against fatigue is a stellar metaphor, turns a simple action into a battle rich with emotion. Breath fleeing his lips like refugees is fancy, ties the energy towards chaos, with fleeing and refugees echoing desperation. The rhythm flows like a march, deliberate, relentless, and punchy. Then it said growth spots, so where I could improve. Mud is solid but vague. I could get more specific, so example, sucking mire or churned earth for extra texture. That's what I love about writing. Like, you really want to incorporate the senses and all that sort of stuff, and things like texture matter. So you think about churning earth. You start to get a sense of texture, like churning earth. Is you visualize that and what that would feel like more than just mud. And then it says here, the word fatigue works, but I could sharpen it, e.g. bone deep weariness, tied in the stakes. I actually don't know if I agree that bone deep weariness seems a bit verbose. I like fatigue. In the way that I use it in that context, considering everything else, I think fatigue works. And then it says also no real sound play yet, so I didn't add alliteration or anything like that. So the verdict overall, now it's telling me how many points I got for the line. It says this is top tier, layered, evocative, and alive with meaning. It's got that 15 XP shine, but I'll nudge you to push one tiny tweak for perfection. So it gave me 14 XP. So that's close to the maximum amount. It gave me 14 XP. So then I made some revisions. Oh, so at that point, 14 XP. So yesterday I ended up with 37 XP. So after that line, I got 14. So now I ended up with 51. So I moved from the scribbler rank is from 0 to 49. So now I've got 51. So I ranked up. I leveled up from scribbler to word weaver. Word weaver is 50 to 149 XP. So now I've leveled up. That's great. But I can continue to just earn points if I continue to tweak the line. I think it's too generous with points. That's why I'm thinking I might just adjust the settings or tell it to change the system to make it more stingy with points or something like that, just so I don't level up as quick. Or I could just keep going. Doesn't really matter as long as I'm improving. But I like the challenge though. So now I adjusted it. I said the soldiers trudged through the sucking muck, each step a war against bone deep debility. His breaths fleeing like haggard refugees. It might lean on a bit. It might tilt towards the verbose a bit too much. The soldier trudged through the sucking muck. I like that. There's rhyming there, the sucking muck. Again, what I liked about the advice it gave me before was that you shouldn't just use the word mud. There's other words you can use to give it more texture, to be more vivid. So that was a tip that I really liked, so that's the adjustment I made. So instead of saying mud, I came up with sucking muck. Sucking muck. You think about someone walking and like it's sucking his feet in. It's walking through this muck as it's sucking his feet in. You just get a stronger visual there. So the soldier trudged through the sucking muck, each step a war against bone-deep debility, his breaths fleeing like haggard refugees. I like it. I worry it's a bit verbose, but I like it. I think it's great. So it gave me tips on that, but it gave me 15 XP for that line. It liked that. I think when you're making, so what I think I should say, like as an adjustment to the system, I should tell it like when I'm making tweaks to it, a line already gave you, I shouldn't get 15 XP, for example. I should get maximum 5 because you've already graded the line. So the maximum I should receive for that is an extra 5 points maximum, just because it's an existing line that I was just working on, just improving. So you shouldn't treat it as a new line. You should just treat it as an old one that's already been assessed, and I get maximum 5 for any improvements I make to that. But it gave me 15 XP plus 5 for improvements. I actually got 20. So now I was at 51 before, now I'm at 71. But I'm seeing here that it's going to get harder and harder to level up because the more you rank up, the more points are required. I think the last to level up to the last one, I think I'm only like 200 XP or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I'm definitely gonna have to increase the requirements. But that's the beauty of it. It's so dynamic. You can just at any point just say, let's switch it up. So right now I'm just having fun. I think the idea is that I show up every day. It's really helping. I'm noticing my thinking is changing. How I think about, and it's just like I started yesterday. It's insane. I started yesterday and already I'm applying these considerations to my writing. Now I find myself when I'm writing, I'm like, how can I change this word to make it more expressive? Like this is quite a plain word. Maybe I can use a different one that's more expressive, yada, yada, yada. So this is definitely going to be something I just do every day. Showing up, just doing the exercises. And I think it'll help me become a more descriptive writer. It'll make my prose just more poetic. Everything will just flow better. I do want to be careful not to... What I like is simplicity, where possible. So I want the average reader to understand what the hell I'm saying, you know? I talked about intellectual masturbation earlier on. Sometimes writers just want to show how smart they are. For me, it's more important that you're enjoying the book. So I have to make sure things flow well, that I keep things as simple as possible without dumbing it down. Just so that it's just easy to follow along, you know, like, and it's a page turner, like you just want to keep reading it. You don't feel like you're doing it, but you're actually enjoying the book. But it does have that poetic flair. It does have that beautiful language, diction, prose. So that's the goal for me. But yeah, I'm gonna just do this every day. It's exciting. I am improving. And let's see I want to see how far I can get to 500, how fast I can get to 500 with the current system. As generous as it is with points, I wonder how fast I'll get there. I can always tweak it afterwards. I can always say, let's reset. Now that I've reached the final rank, let's start from 0, but this time. Or let me keep the points, but just put me back at Scribbler. And this time, like, I need 10,000 to achieve the ultimate ranking. But they be more stingy with points. We'll see. But it's definitely fun. It's definitely helping. It's making me better. I've just noticed how I'm just improving. I'm just attaining new skills that I didn't have before. It's so cool, man. So awesome. So I love it. This is a great tool. Feel free to incorporate this if you're a writer as well. Feel free to take this and run with it. I think it's a great system. Yeah, I came up with this myself. It was very random. I don't know how I came up with this. I just decided to do it. I was just like, I thought this would be a cool idea. So I did it, and it's pretty effective. It's pretty amazing what AI can do. But anyway, we've gone on for 40 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, I like to pray at the end of my video. So, dear Father God, I thank you for this individual watching us right now. Thank you for making them whole and unique and guiding them towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. And thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining that love and marriage and making you very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with this spirit of gratitude so you can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life. By giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life, so let your God, let your will, let your let them and yours be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person who they care about. In my name I pray, in Jesus' name I pray, amen, amen, and amen.